Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm a partner of Eco Advance. And I have Jone here. I'm very happy to have you, and maybe you can quickly introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jonė, and I work in the Ministry of Environment in Lithuania. My main topic is dam removal and free-flowing water restoration.
Thank you. So what are your experiences when it comes to freshwater restoration in your country?
It's a very difficult topic, and as a new topic, it comes with a lot of baggage. There's a lot of ideas and thoughts behind it, and it's very negative because there's a saying, it's better not to destroy but build. So when we come in and to the communities or to parliament or to whoever and say we want to destroy, it's a very negative notion, and you're normally greeted with the negative thoughts, and discussion starts. So it is difficult at the start, but once you get over it and people start realizing we're not only removing or destroying, we're also creating or restoring, recreating the world, the natural world. I think the discussion changes a bit, and then we start talking about the real things.
So when you started your job, for example, what was the motivation behind this? What was your motivation to keep on going and to keep fighting for freshwater restoration?
It always goes up and down. It's difficult to keep the motivation up all the time. But the main reason why I went to the ministry to work is to find a purpose in life. And it feels like there's no better place than the ministry to implement nature restoration. And that's why I chose the ministry. And while I see small results, small steps along the way that I completed, it feels like there is a change. It's just very, very slow. So you just need to remind yourself all the time that change takes time. It's very slow, and probably go to conferences and seminars and meet the people who are going through the same thing to keep yourself motivated. But yes, like small achievements, probably creating small goals to achieve them, to keep going, not to lose motivation completely. That's the whole point.
One of the lessons you've learned is basically to focus on the smaller steps. Are there any other recommendations for anyone who wants to go into the political field when it comes to freshwater restoration?
It's a tough field for sure. There's a lot of discussions. You really need to have a tough skin going to it at the start, but you will have a tougher skin once you're there, of course. I mean, there's been so many times we've been shouted at and called idiots to try and do something, that it makes you a stronger person. Um, but I think whoever wants to really change how nature is treated, there is no better place than the ministry, where everything is, it really goes from top to bottom. It does require a lot of energy, a lot of discussions, a lot of negotiating, but it also makes you grow as a person. You really, um, there are you sell the product, or yeah, you become a marketer. You're selling a product that is for nature, that if you believe in nature, that it can be restored, then I don't see a better place to be honest.
You do have also your success stories that maybe you have something that you want to share with us when it comes to like some for yourself a successful step or outcome for freshwater restoration.
I mean, probably at the start, and there was no idea how to move forward. Dam removal was a very bad word that you just don't use anywhere, and no one talked about all these dams that are in the rivers. They're really old. They're 50 or something years old, and they're getting older. They're getting in a bad state, and no one has money to restore them. So it was election time when I went to the politicians that were like leaders in the parties that would probably become something in the environmental field because that was their interest. So we went to these leaders of the parties and we talked about these problems. So we solved the problem, that there is a problem with dams, and we have a simple solution how to I'm sorry, how to restore nature, how to improve population of migratory fish, how to save money from the budget, the national budget, how to have less administration costs on keeping up with all the constructions.
Yep.
So we told them dam removal is the key, is the way. And because simultaneously there were so many factors, it was not only me, it was NGOs that were also pushing, because it was election time. They were like, so what about dams? There was like fishermen association pushing them, tell us about dams, what are you going to do with it? There was municipalities who are also raising the questions of why is no one giving us budget to restore them. So all these factors simultaneously, and me coming to them and saying, here is the solution. It is cheaper, it is easier, and we restore nature, and you can be the one, you can be the minister who's going to be doing that. That seemed to do the trick. So election time, the same. I had a talk with Finland before that, and I asked them exactly the same. What happened that you managed to do so many dam removals? And they said, we used the politicians, we sparked the debate, we pushed them from the bottom, we pushed them from all sides basically, and made them say that dam removal is the key. So they put it in their program, and they used the election to really boost the whole topic.
We use the election as the time for basically cooperating with also other organizations, NGOs, and other stakeholders who are pushing the question to basically push the government to be more active when it comes to dam removal.
Yeah, whenever there's a election, the parties have their program. So if it ends up, dam removal ends up in the program, that's already a success. That's mentioned, and they will then transport or transform this program into something else that the ministry is going to be doing, or their party is going to be doing. They're pushing the policies, or as an NGO, you can ask them about that. You see, you point it to their program and say, you said you're going to be removing dams. Where is that? Why are you not holding your promises? So it's a tool to push on that.
Yeah, make them more accountable as well, no? Because you have it written down, and then you can definitely go back to it and tell them. So maybe one of my last questions would then be, since EcoAdvance is focusing also on whole Europe and the European Union, also financing a lot of freshwater restoration projects, do you have any suggestions or ideas what the European Union, for example, could do for your ministry to also be more proactive, or to push? Do you think there could also be a push from the European Union?
It's a massive push, of course. Everyone's afraid of fines that they get if they don't implement the directive or regulation. But it's also a very complicated machine that is also very divided and gets lost in discussions the same way as within the country. Even just watching the nature restoration law, you realize how many years have to pass and how many discussions and so on when you get the actual thing. But setting really clear goals does help, because with the Water Framework Directive, it was never said that dam removal was on the table. Some countries interpreted that way and they started doing it. For us, we didn't think that we would have to remove dams to achieve the good status. We thought we can go around somehow. until we realized there is no way. But it's too late. It's until 2026 we have to reach the good stages, and that is completely impossible when you realize after the third cycle of river basin management plans that you must do that. So clearly the defining goals like that in the biodiversity strategy was already a big push that we used a lot of times, that we will have to remove dams. That is going to be a goal, so we must. And that sparked the debate, okay, so which dams? We need to do inventory. Once you have the inventory, you can have all these statistics and data that you can really show that the quality of the dams is going down and so on. So it does help to have a big push from EU.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, I understand how difficult it is for them as well to push something, especially with there's a lot of pushback from different groups.
Yeah, definitely. So basically to kind of have clearly defined goals, but also maybe to revise whatever you set in the beginning. For example, the Water Framework Directive in the beginning, it was one of the main things that was really like innovative. And they had very interesting or a very holistic approach. But then realizing after maybe the third river basin management plans to see, okay, maybe we have to go back to it and kind of change things and then learn from what we've now experienced to go backwards as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Do you have anything else that you might want to share with the people who are interested in freshwater restoration? Any last words that you want to give us?
I mean, I just encourage people to try it. It's a very nice topic, whoever you are. I mean, if you're a scientist, it's nice to bridge science and policy, because policy should be powered by science. It's just we don't do that. We get some kind of proposals from the scientists, but then it gets washed down. So yeah, if you're an NGO, also, you know, try. There are so many dam removal programs for NGOs. There are more than for municipalities or for the ministry. So in any kind of level, you can be influential. You can push the politicians, as I said. So I really encourage people, and it's one of the things that someone from Finland said. If you're in the conservation, you normally know all these stories, how much effort it takes to revive a habitat or a species. Normally takes enormous amount. And for the rivers, you only need to take out a dam and everything will restore itself. Like, it takes hundreds of years to restore a forest. It takes up to 10 years to restore a river if you take out the dam. So it's a nice, rewarding topic. So I encourage people to get involved, and it's a nice crowd of people. We have a lot of conferences and we have a lot of fun from all over the world. And yeah, I do encourage to join in.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.